New Jersey Tech News Interactive, a multimedia publication of the New Jersey Technology Council.
Hi, this is Barry Siegel. I'm the Senior Editor of Tech News. Thanks for being with me today. Although it's being used today in the IT industry, the concept of IT staff augmentation is relatively undefined. In fact, there really is no process or methodology for developing a successful IT staff augmentation practice. Can one be developed? Let's find out. I'm joined today by Joe Papeo, Recruiting Manager, and Conrad Leao, Vice President of Data Inc. of Montvale, a primary vendor for IT staff augmentation and application development at many Fortune and blue-chip companies. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. As I mentioned, the concept of IT staff augmentation has yet to be defined. Conrad, how would you define it?
IT staff augmentation has been around for about 20 years. It is simply the practice of providing temporary IT skilled staff to our clients to work on their IT projects. One of the reasons why it's not been defined is because it's a very young industry. Unlike more stable industries, it has yet to reach maturity. And of all the temp staffing industries, IT is probably the youngest. There's a lot of change happening, and a lot of the rules are still being set up. A lot of the practices are still being researched.
Okay. Now, Joe, let me ask you this. We've all heard of IT outsourcing. I suppose IT staff augmentation has more flexibility. Which one's better? How do you compare the two?
Well, I think you find that both tend to fill different needs within the organization. At the same time, you have to make sure that they complement each other. Staff augmentation allows you more control over a project. It allows you for rapid changes in direction in the project, short-term planning, and it'll give companies more immediate results. Outsourcing is something that will require more long-term planning, significant documentation, a well-defined project scope, and you'll have to wait longer for the results. One isn't necessarily better than the other, but one will be more appropriate depending on the specific project. So as a company, you need to know how to let them complement each other and use really whichever one is more appropriate for that specific project.
Okay. Now, Joe, I suppose continuing with you, when you think about planning, you think about the idea of being reactive to a problem in recruiting versus being proactive. So when you consider proactive versus reactive recruiting, is there a way using IT staff augmentation that you can achieve a balance?
I think there's definitely a way to achieve a balance. The key for us as a group is to really understand your client profile. If you get a good understanding of your client profile, it'll allow you to be as proactive as possible. On the other hand, there are specific technologies that maybe a client doesn't work with often, and for those technologies, you'll have to be more reactive with it. At the same time, even if you're being reactive on a specific technology, profiling a client, knowing what soft skills they tend to like, allows you to be at least somewhat proactive when you do have to be reactive.
Okay. Now, Conrad, let me ask you this question. The article that appears here in Tech News outlines the need for a separate sales staff and recruiting staff. Why the separation? What do you see as the advantages to that separation?
At Data Inc., in our experience, we've seen that to balance effectiveness and efficiency, we need to have this separation because the skills needed to perform both of these roles optimally requires this separation. It also gives our clients the best results. It also gives recruiters the ability, for instance, to focus on what they do best, and overall makes for an efficient and an effective process.
Okay. Joe, what is a project manager in terms of IT staff augmentation, and why does Data Inc. feel that it's important to place project managers at the different client sites?
Well, I think the biggest advantage is that it allows us to use best practices from our various client sites and then apply those best practices at other client sites. The more exposure you get to the different ways clients operate, the more chances you have to refine your own ways of operating.
Okay. Is there a way to get certified to really be an expert in terms of IT staff augmentation, Joe?
Well, in my 11 years in the industry, I've never really seen a specific IT staff augmentation certification. There are certifications out there like AIRS, but they're more general to staff augmentation and not really IT. Or you have other certifications that focus maybe more specifically on certain aspects of recruiting, like sourcing, which really is just one aspect of what we do as recruiters.
All right. Gentlemen, before I let you go, I am curious, what do you think these days is the most sought after skill in the industry?
I don't think there's really one hard skill that stands out. It really varies depending on the industry. What clients are seeking now are candidates who are very well-rounded. Since cost is more of an issue lately, if you have a candidate who can do some development, lead a team when asked, interface with users, that's really a sought-after candidate.
Gotcha. Conrad, do you have a comment on that, most sought-after skill?
I think Joe put it very well. Essentially, we're all trying to do more with less, and anyone with the right combination of hard skills and soft skills can name their price.
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with me today. I've been speaking with Joe Papeo, Recruiting Manager of Data Inc., and Conrad Leao, Vice President of Data Inc., companies located in Montvale, and you can visit them and learn more about IT staff augmentation at www.datainc.biz, B-I-Z. This is Barry Faye Siegel, Senior Editor of TechNews. Thanks for joining me.
The New Jersey Technology Council provides business support, networking opportunities, information, advocacy, and recognition of technology companies and their leaders. Founded in 1996, the NJTC's more than 1,100 member companies work together to support their own enterprises while advancing New Jersey's status as a leading technology center in the United States. For more information on the Council, please visit our website, njtc.org.